Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, September 12, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Cleveland Browns vs Kansas City Chiefs. Cleveland's running game was one of the best in the NFL last season. Patrick Mahomes had another elite 2020 season, ranking second in the NFL with 4740 passing yards, accompanied by a 38-6 TD-to-int ratio in 15 regular season games played. The 25-year-old shined in the playoff against the Browns last year, collecting 255 passing yards before going down with a concussion. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt were a force, holding claim as the only pair of teammates to each have more than 840 yards rushing last year. Chubb and Hunt had a combined 23 touchdowns from scrimmage, the 4th highest total in the league. The Browns have their sights set on improving their divisional playoff appearance last year, and they will no doubt meet Kansas City again in their quest if they make the playoffs again. The offense has playmakers all over the field. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a big rookie season, rushing for over 800 yards in 13 games. Helaire is dealing with an ankle injury but is expected to play. Tight end Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill should eclipse 1,000 receiving yards with ease again this year. They no longer have Sammy Watkins. Baker and the Browns will be ready. Baker Mayfield and the Browns fittingly open their season against the team that ended their 2020 campaign. In that game, Kansas City lost quarterback Patrick Mahomes in the third quarter to a concussion, and backup Chad Henne came in to replace him. At that time, the Chiefs were up 22-10, and Cleveland got within 5, but Henne ran 13 yards on 3rd and 14 to set up a 4th and 1 conversion that sealed the game. Since then, the Browns have been working hard to rebuild their defense and try and slow down the high-powered Chiefs offense, along with the other powerhouses in the AFC. Our betting advice is to pick Cleveland Browns plus 5.5. Miami Dolphins vs New England Patriots. As mentioned earlier, the Miami Dolphins will be led by QB Tua Tagovailoa. The running game has a talented back in Myles Gaskin with Malcolm Brown as the backup. Devontae Parker leads a group of talented wide receivers including Jalen Waddle, but William Fuller V is suspended. The Dolphins added wide receiver Will Fuller in the offseason, but he will be serving the final game of his 6-game suspension from 2020. They also drafted Tagovailoa's former college teammate, wide receiver Jalen Waddle out of Alabama, to help bolster the passing game. Tight end Mike Gesicki gives Tua an option to pass when the wide receivers are not open and is a strong blocker. The offensive line will be without Austin Jackson, but should hold its own against a tough New England defense. Despite some inconsistency, Tagovailoa finished his rookie season with a 6-3 record under center and is expected to be a breakout candidate following a full offseason. The 23-year-old signal caller threw for 1,814 yards with 11 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, while adding 3 rushing scores and completing 64.1% of his passes as a rookie. Miami also returns playmakers Mike Gesicki at tight end and former undrafted rookie Salvon Ahmed, who is expected to have a significant role in the offense this season. Our betting advice is to pick Miami Dolphins plus 3. Quick reminder, you can get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on our partner sportsbook BetUS after you open an account using our link down below and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES when making your deposit. Denver Broncos vs New York Giants. Denver averaged 20.2 points per game last season. They threw for 215.7 yards and rushed for 119.9 yards per game. Part of the reason for optimism in New York revolves around the return of running back Saquon Barkley, who played just 64 snaps last season before suffering an ACL injury. The 24-year-old remains questionable heading into Week 1 with a calf injury, but was a limited participant in practice on Thursday. Bridgewater completed a career-high 69.1% of his passes for 3,733 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions in his lone season with the Carolina Panthers. Melvin Gordon led the team with 986 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns, while Jerry Jeudy led the team with 856 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. New York also signed former Detroit Lions receiver Kenny Golladay and drafted Kadarius Toney in the first round to help beef up the passing game as well. Denver struggled defensively last season, giving up 27.9 points per game. They improved their defense through the draft and will be better than they were last season. Our betting advice is to pick New York Giants +3. Green Bay Packers vs New Orleans Saints. While their running game remains intact with All-Pro Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray leading the way, the receiver core will miss Michael Thomas, who remains out and will probably miss the first few weeks. That makes Tre'Quan Smith their leading receiver, and he will be alongside names like Marquez Callaway, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Deontay Harris, Chris Hogan, and tight end Adam Trautman. These are all young, largely unproven players. The fortunate thing for the Saints is that they do not need Winston to be great. They have an incredible corral of running backs, led by Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. The pair should produce near 2,000 yards rushing, if not more, and that will take the pressure off the QB as well as give him a lot of one-on-one matchups with defenses, having to sneak a safety or two near the line. The New Orleans Saints had another good season last year that came to another disappointing end. They finished 12-4 in the regular season and won their first-round playoff game, but then bowed out in the second round to the eventual Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. The Saints begin a new era without their Hall of Fame quarterback, Drew Brees, who retired after last season. The reins will be handed over to Jameis Winston, a quarterback that has had some success in this league with the Bucs. The truth is, Brees had noticeably deteriorated last year, so this is not a downgrade at this point. But the Saints have some other issues to contend with. The Saints' defense should be good, but they will start a little short-handed as David Onyemata starts the season with a 6-game suspension. Cornerback Marshon Lattimore is also out after a gun charge in March. This is going to be a team that could struggle defensively for the first 2 months of the season, and it is going to be up to this offense to carry New Orleans. Also, the Saints replenished their defense through the draft, taking defensive players with their first 3 picks, including first-round draftee Peyton Turner, a defensive end from Houston. Cornerback Ken Crawley is listed as questionable for the opener. The Packers are not the only team with quarterback issues. Hall of Famer Drew Brees headed for the broadcast booth, leaving the Saints with a big hole to fill. Now the team turns to Tampa Bay cast-off Jameis Winston as he looks to rebuild his career under the tutelage of Sean Payton. Our betting advice is to pick Green Bay Packers, -3.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.